the day. And today we are asking you, as the ANC resolves to push on with land expropriation without compensation immediately, what are your views on this? And we're expecting those answers on @MorningLive, and that's our Twitter handle. And please also use that hashtag #MorningLive for all your communication with us here on Morning Live. And that's the question of the day, and we'll be reading those answers throughout the show. And let's move now to our stories of the day, and these are some of the stories that you can look forward to today. And first up there in our stories of the day, the African Philanthropy Forum is set to hold its annual conference at the Wanderers Club in Ilovo today. Well, our apologies there, and of course there are many more stories, and unfortunately unable to bring them to you at this stage. But let's move on to our trending topics, and there were quite a few very interesting ones. No surprises there, Zimbabwe, as we still await the outcome of that landmark election that took place on Monday. So hashtag Zimbabwe there at the top, and then hashtag land, and this of course after the ANC has resolved to move forward with land expropriation without compensation. Julius Malema, that's the other hashtag. Now, it would appear that there is a video that emerged, and this was apparently taken over the weekend at the party's 5th anniversary celebrations. And it shows Julius Malema shooting I'm not sure what caliber rifle that is, but he takes that and then he fires a few shots into the air, and it is then taken away from him. So this video has emerged and it's making the rounds on Twitter. And then hashtag Ramaphosa, and this goes back to the land question. And of course, we are asking you in our question of the day to interact with us about that as well. Tell us what your views are on that. And of course, anything else that you would like to communicate with us on, we certainly are open. And yeah, it's no easy task because we do promise you independent, impartial coverage of the news as SABC News. And of course, some of you have called us out, Sam Kokeli, asking why is it that the SABC actually carried that story from President Cyril Ramaphosa, the ANC's resolution, when it was not a broader press conference, for example. So let us know what your thoughts are on that as well. Certainly won't shy away from it. But of course, before you leave at this hour, let's check in with Rob Byrne to find out what's happening on the roads. And Rob, of course, joins us via Sky as always. And Rob, good morning.
SK, good morning to you. Good morning, South Africa. Let's get up and have a look what's going on. Roads, rails, and everything in between. First up, here's an update from the How Train strike that continues. Good news this morning. Rosebank Station has been included in the list of operational stations. So keep in mind, How Train, during this industrial action, are only running a peak time service. It's peak time only on their Pretoria-Joburg service. But you've got Centurion, Sandton, now Rosebank Station that's open, and Park as well. And the How Train buses will service those 4 operational and open stations. But again, the buses and the trains on what they refer to as the P line is only a peak time service. There are trains running between the Sandton station and the airport, stopping at Rhodesfield on that A line. And there's a replacement bus service on the off-peak side. So, you know, you've got a sort of service all day long on that airport line. It's a mixture of trains at peak and buses off-peak, but still very heavily restricted on the main Pretoria-Joburg line, but at least Rosebank's open to give commuters an extra option this morning. Right, big day of women's marches right across the country. You can see there from Gauteng to Limpopo, Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, Western Cape, Lesotho, Namibia included, Free State, Northwest, all over. A lot of marches set today across many of the major cities around the country. So we're looking at sort of late morning, early afternoon disruption around some roads road closures for those marches. The big one will be in Pretoria. It'll move from the CBD, the old Putco depot, through to the Union buildings, taking in Strooben, Sophie de Bruyn, along Francis Bard, up Nelson Mandela, and then along Madiba into the Union buildings. That'll be 10 o'clock, and it should be all over, and the crowd dispersing by about 2 p.m. this afternoon. But perhaps if you need to get through Pretoria during the sort of later part of this morning, afternoon, look at routes like Eskiam Pathledi Drive, Nana, Sita, Fasaki. Those routes will be open and should get you around that okay. And then if you're driving into Cape Town on the N1, there's a red line of queuing traffic this morning from Brackenfell down into the Belleville area. It's a stationary truck, Papa T, telling us truck broken down just after the Durban Road exit, an additional lane blocked, and that's why it's so slow on that inbound side. Right, with the Morning Live traffic report, I'm Rob Byrne.